Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now.
I'm tired.
Yeah, she dated an old man.
I'm planning a wedding! What the f***?
How she tired?
I'm getting tired. Oh, Lord, no.
Yo, everybody, what is up? Today we're going to be discussing the new episode of Married to Medicine of Season 10, Episode 2. Okay, so this episode starts with none other than Miss Quad. Miss Quad, she got it. She goes to Phaedra's house, and y'all, when they see each other, they start dancing, twerking, hugging. This is the iconic duo that we needed. There's always been certain things about each of them that remind me of one another, so it's so good to see them together. So seeing them is great. They're so funny, and Quad is updating her with what she's been up to since last season. So she's been in Africa, living her life. She is dating, but Phaedra wants to know what is going on with her and the girls, the other women. What is their dynamic? Quad says that it's no secret she hasn't been hanging out with the girls, so Phaedra is filling Quad in on some of the things that have been said about her, especially about the sweet tea situation, how she met Greg through the DM and all of that, and that she is really good friends with Toya. Now, this is no surprise to Quad that Toya and Sweet Tea are friends because Quad says that Toya has a vendetta against her. That's why she brought up the DUI, so it's no surprise to her. What did surprise Quad was Heavenly, especially at that last reunion. Phaedra says that Heavenly said that she feels like Quad deserted her, but Quad is saying that Heavenly has not called her or reached out to her in any way. And that matter of fact, she was the one who posted that picture of her hanging out with Sweet Tea and having lunch. So she's feeling a little bit uneasy with the group. So that was a lovely scene with these two. We then move to Dr. G's home. So Sweet Tea is home and she's cooking. He just came home from work, so she's feeding him, having a good meal for him ready. She works from home, so it's pretty cool. So she has a lot of time to do this stuff. So they're eating at the table and they talk about the wedding because it's coming up soon. She's been feeling a little bit overwhelmed planning. He hasn't been doing really much of the planning at all, but when she raises that concern that she's been doing all this planning, he lets her know that he's the one paying for it. She says, well, some of the money going in is also mine, but he says, but I'm paying the higher percentage. Let me tell you something. When a man is throwing it in your face and complaining about he's spending money on the woman, that's not a good thing. You're supposed to be doing that, man. The next scene is Dr. Jackie. So Dr. Jackie has adopted a new work schedule. She is now only working until 2 p.m. and she's off on the weekends, which I'm so happy for her because, y'all, Jackie looks great, but she's in her mid-60s. So I'm glad that she's settling back and not working so much, She goes in and sees the brat because the brat was pregnant. I think she already had her child. So it was a fun scene seeing the brat and her wife, and sort of Jackie was reprimanding her for eating Wendy's. Really good scene. The next scene takes place in the Harris household. Toya was FaceTiming Sweet Tea, but then Eugene comes after that and they're talking about how their days were going, but most importantly, it is time to have the puberty and sex talk with the boys. They're at that age, and they recently saw that Eugene was watching a Playboy documentary. So it's time to do it. So they bring the two boys, they sit them down, and they explain it all. STDs, orgasms, feelings, how they should act. But you know what? Credit to Eugene and Toya because they did a great job having the conversation, telling them how it is in a way that they understood, because it's always going to be uncomfortable, obviously. But say what you will about Toya, she has a beautiful family, and I like that they were able to talk to them, and she even told them, let's just try and wait till you guys are in a marriage before y'all do anything. Moving along, Sweet Tea is dress shopping. She has a friend of hers join her, and she also invites Phaedra and Toya. To be honest, the dresses that she was trying on, in my opinion, were not that nice, but she's trying different ones. One of the things that I didn't really like was some of the little comments that were being made by Phaedra and Toya. I love Phaedra, but I was a little bit disappointed in her because this is not the second time that she pokes fun at Sweet Tea's physique. She's talking about if her butt looks like pancakes, and I know Heavenly recently was on her live body shaming Sweet Tea as well. Look, I don't like that. It's one thing if you're in the heat of an argument and you're like, you fat, like, that's one thing, but like, just unprovokedly pointing at someone's physical appearance, like, I don't know. It's just so weird to me. So as Sweet Tea is in the fitting room trying on a different dress, Toya and Phaedra ask her friend how did she know Sweet Tea, and she says that they met in a support group. A support group for what? They say. Well, it's a support group for black women dating older men. So, like, with a significant age difference. Because there can be challenges, just like in any other relationship. And they were both shocked, both Phaedra and Toya. They were like, what? A support group for sugar babies? What do y'all talk about? How the dicks look? Like, they were doing a little bit too much with that. But that was it for the dress fitting scene. Moving on to Toya once again. So Toya has a new project. Now y'all know Toya has always sort of been the butt of the joke because they try to say that she doesn't have a job like the other ladies. They even showed some flashbacks of moments like those. So Toya has this new thing called Toya's Wine Club. Essentially, it's like one of those membership things where like you get to choose your box of wine and they kind of like send it to you every month or something like that. I actually like the concept. So Toya is having a little party sort of thing, get together at a restaurant for her to introduce this to the rest of the group. So everybody is arriving to that except Quad, of course. They bring up something about drinking, and Sweet Tea makes a comment because she really didn't like some of the comments that were being made at the dress fitting, the ones that I was talking about previously, like your butt is challenged or you need a girdle. They do apologize. Phaedra apologizes and so does Toya. I don't think they meant for her to be hurt, but she did. And then, oh my gosh, this lady is missing a mute button. Dr. Heavenly says, well, I heard that you go to therapy for dating older men. Now, y'all see how rumors get started, y'all? And embellished. This went from a support group to a sugar babies club to now therapy. So this is ridiculous. So Sweet Tea has to explain, no, it's literally a freaking Facebook group that I joined and we talk about dating older men. You can join if you'd like, she tells Heavenly, and she's throwing shade about, well, what do y'all talk about? The differences in music? It was too much. Then they ask her if there's anything else that they've said that was off-putting to her, and she says that she really didn't like that they had a full conversation in the house about Quad right in front of her during the hoedown. She didn't like that they made everything about Quad, and Jackie apologizes, and I'm glad she did because that was a little bit shady of Jackie, but she's going through so much with the wedding. Simone can tell, and she asks what's wrong, and she says I'm irritable. So they go up, both of them, Simone and Sweet Tea, and go to the bathroom, and she says that she has had no time for herself. She feels like she has no support system. And this is why I love Simone. I'll admit at times she can be a little bit annoying, a little bit loud, but one thing about her is that she is such a mom, and scenes like these, like where she's going to be there to comfort you, so she settles her down, she talks to her quietly and calmly and calms her down. So then they go back. Then Toya has some weird game about trying to guess what wine is from Costco and what wine is from her club. So they do a little bit of a wine tasting. I really didn't understand the game, but they went through several rounds and looks like Simone won or lost. I'm not sure. I just kind of zoned out during that part. But Toya's Wine Club is cool, and I'm going to check it out because my mom loves wine. But poor Sweet Tea, when she got up, y'all, she had the price tag on her dress. The last scene of the episode is Fedra and Greg. So Phaedra and him have been friends for almost 20 years plus, and we all know that they dated. So she's asking him how he's doing, how he plays baseball, whatever. And Phaedra is saying, so you're really going through with this? Are you really gonna get married? Like, aren't you scared? And he says that he is ready to do this again. He claims that he is in love with Sweet Tea and that she is the one, but she brings concerns of her being younger, but he says that she makes him feel comfortable and safe, something he never had with Quad. Matter of fact, he says that Quad made him scared. Lateasha is his friend, his partner. He can see himself with her. Then Phaedra asks if he's going to get a prenup. He says, well, you know, we've talked about it. We'll definitely do it. It isn't anything that they're too fixated upon, but they'll get to it eventually. So Phaedra is giving him quote-unquote legal advice, but it was just common knowledge. Phaedra also says that she thinks she will never get married again, which I thought that was pretty interesting, but she is happy to see that Greg is happy, and that was the end of the episode, you guys. Next freaking week, Phaedra's gonna bring Quad to Sweet Tea's bachelorette party, and all hell's gonna break loose. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and y'all let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. I have a different bit of opinion for Sweet Tea than I did first episode. First episode, I thought, this girl is weird. She's sliding into guys' DMs. I still think there's a little bit, something a little bit weird about that. But I will say, after seeing this episode, I kind of feel bad for her. Number one, I feel like Gregory is the type of man who is set in his ways. He's not going to change for no one. He didn't change for Quad. He's not going to change for her either. I feel like this girl is going to go through a lot, because if she's breaking down over the planning of a wedding, what do you think is going to happen when the actual work comes for the marriage? And second of all, I honestly don't think that Sweet Tea knew what she was signing up for. I'm sure she thought, I'm going to do this TV show, I'm marrying Greg, but I don't think she really thought it through and realized that these women were going to be kind of like vultures. And listen, I love Heavenly, I love Phaedra, I love all of them, but unfortunately I think that they're never going to actually respect Sweet Tea. I think they're always going to see her as a little girl, as a little gold digger, and that's a little bit unfortunate. But let me know in the comments if you agree or if you disagree. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.